For years, the world has watched the trade war between the United States and China as a battle of steel, soybeans, and semiconductors. We thought we knew the playbook: tariffs, counter-tariffs, and tense negotiations. But a new front has just opened, and this one is far more critical, far more dangerous, and far more subtle. It's a war fought not over finished goods, but over the very elements that power our modern world. Last week, Beijing fired a shot across the bow, a move that was quiet in its execution but deafening in its implications, a significant crackdown on the export of rare earth minerals. These aren't just obscure rocks. They are the lifeblood of everything from your smartphone to the most advanced F-35 fighter jet. The response from Washington was immediate and characteristically maximalist. President Trump threatened to unleash a devastating new wave of economic pain: 100% tariffs on a swath of Chinese goods. This isn't just a trade spat. This is an escalation that lays bare the fusion of economic rivalry and national security risk. Tonight we break down this new, high-stakes game of economic brinkmanship. We'll ask, why now? What are rare earths, and why does China hold all the cards? And what would a 100% tariff actually mean for your wallet and the global economy? Let's start with the basics. The term rare earth is a bit misleading. These 17 elements, like neodymium, praseodymium, and dysprosium, aren't actually rare in the Earth's crust. What is rare is finding them in concentrations high enough to be economically mined and crucially processed, and that is where China's dominance begins and ends. For decades, China has cornered the market, not just in mining, but in the complex, environmentally taxing process of refining these elements. Today, China controls over 80% of the world's refined rare earth supply. Think of it this way: if rare earths are the ingredients for the 21st century technological cake, China owns the only functioning oven. This monopoly gives Beijing a strategic chokehold over critical global industries. Consider the U.S. defense sector. Rare earth magnets are essential components in precision-guided missiles, stealth technology, and radar systems. If China restricts supply, it doesn't just hurt the economy. It directly impacts the military readiness of the United States and its allies. Beijing's recent move, tightening export controls on specific rare earth processing technologies and some finished magnets, is a clear signal. It's a direct response to U.S. export controls on advanced semiconductors. It's the ultimate economic leverage, a reminder that in this new Cold War, the supply chain is the new front line. The U.S. reaction was swift and frankly predictable. President Trump, never one to shy away from a tariff fight, responded with the threat of a 100% tariff on a broad range of Chinese imports. Let's be clear. A 100% tariff is not a negotiating tactic. It is an economic sledgehammer. It effectively doubles the price of the imported good, making it impossible for Chinese manufacturers to compete in the U.S. market. The stated goal is to force Beijing to reverse its rare earth restrictions and to address what the administration calls China's economic aggression. But the threat also serves a dual purpose. It's a political rallying cry, a promise to bring manufacturing jobs back home, and a demonstration of unwavering resolve against a perceived adversary. However, this is where the script gets complicated. The last trade war, fought with 25% tariffs, cost American consumers and businesses billions. A 100% tariff would be exponentially more disruptive. It's a classic Trumpian move, a high-stakes, all-or-nothing gamble. It's the economic equivalent of bringing a cannon to a chess match. While it certainly grabs attention, it also risks a massive, self-inflicted wound. China has already vowed to retaliate, promising additional measures if the U.S. goes through with the threat. We are staring down the barrel of a full-blown, mutually destructive trade war, one that could easily tip the fragile global economy into a recession. The question for American consumers is simple: are you prepared to pay double for everything from electronics to clothing, all in the name of economic leverage? To understand the true gravity of this situation, we must look beyond the immediate trade numbers and into the geopolitical arena. This conflict is not isolated. It is part of a broader, systemic rivalry. China's rare earth move is a direct lesson learned from the U.S. use of sanctions and export controls, particularly those targeting Chinese tech giants like Huawei. Beijing is demonstrating that it, too, possesses a powerful, non-military weapon, supply chain weaponization. This has profound implications for the European Union and other U.S. allies. The EU, heavily reliant on both U.S. technology and Chinese manufacturing, is caught in the crossfire. They face the agonizing choice of decoupling from China, a costly and complex endeavor, or risking their own supply chains being held hostage. It is crucial to view both sides through the same lens. When the U.S. restricts the export of advanced chip-making equipment to China, it cites national security. When China restricts the export of rare earth magnets, it cites national security. Both nations are using economic tools to achieve strategic, non-economic goals. The difference lies in the degree of global dependency. The world can, with difficulty, find alternative sources for some U.S. technology. It is far harder and far slower to build an entirely new rare earth processing infrastructure outside of China. This is the core of the problem, a lack of global diversification, which has allowed a single nation to hold a strategic material hostage. So, what is the off-ramp from this dangerous escalation? The long-term solution for the U.S. and its allies is clear: diversification. The U.S. has rare earth deposits, but the processing capacity is minimal. The current crisis must be the catalyst for massive government-backed investment in domestic and allied processing facilities in Australia, Canada, and elsewhere. This is a multi-year, multi-billion-dollar project, but it is the only way to neutralize China's leverage. In the short term, the path is far murkier. The 100% tariff threat is a high-risk strategy. It may force a temporary concession from Beijing, but it will also inflict significant pain on American businesses and consumers, and further destabilize global trade. The current administration seems to believe that maximum pressure is the only language Beijing understands, but history shows that economic wars rarely have clear winners. Only shared casualties. The true objective should not be to win a tariff war, but to secure a stable, resilient supply chain for the future. Until that resilience is built, the world remains dangerously exposed. The rare earth crackdown and the 100% tariff threat are not just headlines. They are a stark warning that the most critical resources of the 21st century are now the weapons of choice in a new era of great power competition. We will continue to track this story as it develops. Thank you for watching.